Pressure Gauss's law and the evidence for a barrier around Earth. Gauss's law suggests Earth is enclosed within a barrier, and physics disproves the idea of a pressurized system next to an infinite vacuum. The idea that we live on a spinning water ball in space next to a vacuum is scientifically impossible when examined through natural laws of electromagnetism and pressure systems. Let's break it down step by step. 1. Gauss's law and the evidence for a containment barrier. What is Gauss's law? Gauss's law states that the total electric flux through a closed surface is proportional to the charge enclosed within that surface. In simple terms, if Earth has a uniform electrostatic field, it requires a boundary or a closed system to maintain that field. This suggests that Earth's atmosphere is not freely dissipating into an infinite vacuum, but is contained. The Earth's charge distribution behaves as if it is enclosed within a field or dome-like structure. If Earth were an open system, the atmosphere would leak into space, violating Gauss's law and observable electrostatic principles. Test 2, the vacuum problem. No evidence for an open system next to a vacuum. The second law of thermodynamics disproves the infinite vacuum model. The second law of thermodynamics states that high-pressure systems always move toward lower-pressure areas unless a barrier is present. If space is a near-perfect vacuum, zero pressure, and Earth's atmosphere is pressurized, air should immediately disperse into space. Yet, we still have an atmosphere, meaning a physical or energetic containment must exist. No experiment has ever demonstrated a high-pressure system existing next to a vacuum without a barrier. NASA's own admissions contradict the heliocentric model. NASA states that the thermosphere reaches thousands of degrees, yet spacecraft supposedly operate fine in this region. NASA also admits that we cannot send humans beyond low Earth orbit, suggesting a barrier prevents further exploration. The Van Allen radiation belts behave like an energetic boundary, further supporting the idea of a contained system. If no barrier exists, why do we not see experiments proving a pressurized system can exist next to a vacuum? 3. Electrostatics, the Earth's potential and containment. The Earth has a rising electrostatic potential. As altitude increases, the electric potential, voltage, rises by about 100 volts per meter. This suggests Earth exists within an energetic containment field, similar to a capacitor or enclosed energy system. Without a boundary, this electrostatic gradient would dissipate into space. Gauss's law for magnetism and the enclosure hypothesis. A dipole magnetic field like Earth's requires a closed-loop structure. The ionosphere behaves like a reflective boundary for electromagnetic waves. Lightning, sprites, and Schumann resonances further suggest an enclosed, energetic environment. These observations reinforce the concept that Earth is within a closed system, rather than freely exposed to an infinite vacuum. 4. Could this barrier be a firmament? The biblical and mythological concept of the firmament. Nearly every ancient civilization describes a firmament, dome, or solid barrier enclosing Earth. The Bible, Vedas, Sumerian texts, and other traditions describe the sky as a crystalline vault separating the waters above from the waters below. Operation Fishbowl and high-altitude nuclear tests attempted to break through this barrier, yet no breakthroughs were publicly announced. What kind of barrier could it be? Electromagnetic in nature? The ionosphere and electromagnetic field suggest a plasma-like containment. Physical but translucent, high-altitude weather balloons reveal a strong gradient but no clear exit. A frequency-based boundary? If reality is an electromagnetic holographic projection, the dome could be an energy threshold. Whether physical, electromagnetic, or frequency-based, evidence overwhelmingly suggests Earth is contained within a barrier. Unless... Final thoughts. Gauss's law and the evidence for an enclosed system. Gauss's law suggests that Earth's electrostatic field requires an enclosure, supporting the idea of a containment barrier. There is no scientific evidence that a pressurized atmosphere can exist next to an infinite vacuum without a solid or energetic boundary. The second law of thermodynamics proves air would rush into space instantly unless a containment system prevents it. The rising electrostatic potential, magnetic field behavior, and atmospheric layers suggest Earth is in a structured enclosed system.